Before we start our episode today, I want to thank our sponsor, 32 Below Froyo and More. They're located here in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. They have frozen yogurt, they have tons of toppings, paninis, they've got salads, snacks. They also have beer and wine, adult floats, and every Saturday and Sunday they have endless mimosas. So make sure that you follow them on social media, keep up to date on everything happening, and go support them. They're an amazing local business. All right, so it is the month of November. This month, we are going to focus on wellness. So each guest is around a piece of wellness, physical, emotional, mental health. And so we're going to be bringing on someone new each episode that gives you a tip, gives you a little nugget of wellness so that you can have a successful winter, so that you can be healthier and happier during this dark time. So enjoy the episode. Welcome to Keeping Tabs. I'm Tabitha Croc, and every Monday, I talk to someone here in North Idaho with the goal to connect more people in the Coeur d'Alene area. And then every Friday, I talk to someone outside the community to bring in a new perspective and to learn a little bit about yourself. Okay, good morning. I have Matt with me. He's with RX Meals, the OG of meal prepping in Coeur d'Alene. That's what I'm going to say,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So how are you today? Thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about yourself and you and who you are, and then about your business.
So I am a coach at CrossFit Coeur d'Alene, and we started this business in 2017. And it was kind of something that I had quit my real job to go coach, and then I
It's a real
kind of
job. Coaching's a real job.
I know, but it's a fun job.
It
I
is.
call it my retirement job. So so yeah, I quit my real job to go coach. Kind of needed something, another outlet to do, and cooking's always been something I've really been kind of passionate about, like healthy eating, and my wife's a dietitian. And when I used to travel for my real job all around the country, I would find some sort of like meal prep places, and then we didn't have any here, so that's kind of where I went. So I wanted to create something like that here.
Yeah, that's so cool. And it's so true. I think it's something that, because I've been in the fitness world before and I did group fitness, and people are always asking me, hey, can you help me with my
Yeah.
meal prep? Can you do this with my meal prep? Hey, where do I go for meal prep? I'm like, and then right around that same time is when you guys popped up. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is awesome. And you can go right on there and order. I mean, I
Mhm.
know probably tons of people in the Coeur d'Alene area really rely on you. I know police officers personally that like
Yeah.
have to get their meals from you.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of like your thought was that, hey, it's something Coeur d'Alene's missing. And I know
Yeah.
there's new ones. And I talked to Lean Kitchen the other day, but
Mhm.
you guys help a whole different community. And you guys really, I don't know if I'm talking out of turn, but like, do you guys really focus on those macros and calories and how much you're getting with
Yeah.
your meal?
Yeah. So like our main goal with this is to kind of help people reach goals and still taste good as they're doing it. So my wife, she kind of formulates these dishes, like makes the menu up, kind of toward a certain goal, and kind of directed at a certain, like a very active person. I don't know, because so they all kind of match the same kind of goal. I don't know if I'm saying that
Yep.
quite how I wanted to, but yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's so unique because there's fitness competition. You guys are in the CrossFit world. So there's a whole different group of people with CrossFit. So trying to hit those goals, and whether it's physically or the running for a race or you're going to be posing on stage, it's really unique.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
Yeah, and then we always want to make like super high quality meals. So like the ingredients that go into our food is just as like the highest quality we can put. So like we use like grass-fed beef, and we use a lot of organic things, like as much as we can get organic and
I love that.
things like that.
I think people really appreciate that too. It's super important for a lot of people. Um, And are you guys originally from the Coeur d'Alene area? Are you guys from outside?
Yeah, nope, Coeur d'Alene. I grew up in Coeur d'Alene until about junior high, and then I moved out to Athol, and then came back when I was 18. My wife went to Lake City High School. She grew up in Coeur d'Alene. Her whole family's from Coeur d'Alene.
So we got some locals. I didn't realize you guys were locals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, so let's get some fun questions. Since you're all about food and nutrition, and you and your wife, that's all you guys do is food stuff. What is your go-to restaurant in Coeur d'Alene?
Uh, so it depends. So I think dinner, I always like fire pizza. Like just if we're gonna take someone out or kind of we want to go somewhere, we would go to fire or order fire in. For lunch, I really have been enjoying the Pokey Express.
Oh,
Pokey's always been one of my favorite foods, and so they're always a go-to for me.
do you have a breakfast place?
Garnet for
Yes,
sure.
that is
Yeah,
my hands down my favorite too. There's nothing better than the garnet.
yeah. When we first started RX Meals, every we would plate on Sundays, so Sunday morning, like early Sunday morning, and I would pick up breakfast burritos from Garnet on the way to the kitchen. And then we would just eat those and plate our meals.
I love that. I love that. So you are obviously motivated and you're a coach. You guys you have this great business. What inspires you to be your best self?
Well, so from a from a young age, like something I always thought about was like do it as you're doing unto the Lord, not for men. And that's kind of something that always like played in my head. If I didn't get along with my boss or I was doing something that I didn't really like, that would always kind of just like echo in my head. It's like I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this as like I'm doing it for God. But then as I get older, something that really kind of motivates me is my children. So just wanted to like set a really good example for them and just make sure that they see like a good work ethic and just like my attitude as I'm working and things like that.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, and I was stalking your Instagram to get some more information about you, and your
Yeah,
kids are adorable.
they're pretty cute. I don't know how they got blue eyes and blonde hair, but they're cute.
They are so adorable. I love it. Um,
Mhm.
so, obviously you've gone through some different paths. You had a real job, traveling and doing all this other stuff. And now
Mhm.
you coach and you're doing multiple different things. What is a life
Yeah.
lesson along the way that you've learned the hard way?
Let's see. Something I learned when I was traveling and working a ton was that time is more important than money. You can always get money, you can't always get time. So that was something where I was working like 80 hours a week plus, and then just decided like the money's not worth this.
Right.
So I decided, yeah, that was something I learned. Something else.
Well, I think that's such a huge thing is I think people undervalue your time sometimes. Like when
Yeah,
even I do like public relations stuff and when they're like, oh, it's not going to take that much time. I was like, it does. And that's my time. That's like the most valuable
yeah,
piece is
yeah.
that I need to be paid really well if you're going to be taking my time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So who's your biggest hero?
What's my so I have a like my grandpa. He died like 5 years ago, I think, but he was on the USS Arizona and he served. He retired from the Navy. He went through. He landed on beaches in the Pacific and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then he was like the most loving, like hardworking guy. So
Mm,
he's always been someone I looked up to. And then my dad kind of got a lot of that. Where I mean, he was 17 when I was born, and then he like worked two jobs and really tried to like provide for us as being a very young father.
yeah.
um,
That really shows who you are too. I mean, you obviously you're working multiple jobs and
yeah, yeah.
starting
Well,
your own business to provide for your family. So it definitely shows a generation thing that has been passed on.
mhm. It's just, and he taught me a lot, like just hard work and just being honest and just, you know, yeah.
That's awesome. So the dreaded word I'm going to bring up is COVID. How did that affect you guys and like RX meals? And I know it probably affected you, your coaching as well, because when we shut down,
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to do any of that.
Yeah. So the gym shut down for about 6 weeks, from like March to May, mid March to May, which kind of helped me because I had a ton of projects I needed to do. And we were working with a property that we owned at that time, trying to get a lot of stuff done there. And then I did a lot of stuff here. So it was kind of nice to have that 6 weeks out of the gym. And then for RX meals, we never stopped. We kept, I mean, every week we were putting out meals every week for people who wanted them. It slowed down. So it was right during our like busy season. So usually like from kind of mid January through March through April, we usually have a really big spike in meal orders and stuff
Why
like
is
that.
that? Do you know why it's that time of year?
I think just after the holidays, people are, they get back into the swing of things. January comes around, they tried their like New Year's resolutions for a couple of weeks, and then they're like, "Hey, I need help. Can
Exactly.
you make me food?" Yeah, and so we didn't see that huge spike in March like we usually do, because of COVID and everyone was home, and but it kind of stayed steadier throughout the year instead of kind of spiking and coming down and spiking.
I bet
So
this. I bet it was. I mean, I bet more people would have ordered from you too if they would. More people. I mean, obviously, more and more
yeah,
people know about you. But if I know so many people out there that love what you do or need
mhm,
you, so definitely, I think it can be during COVID. I bet there's times they're
yeah,
like, well, we need the food now because we want food cooked and ready for us. We just have to
yeah,
warm it up instead of going
mhm,
to the grocery store where it's a
yeah.
madhouse.
It was, the grocery stores were crazy during that shutdown. It was
It
insane.
was so crazy.
And Home Depot.
Oh,
I would avoid Home Depot. I would drive to like Ziggy's up in Hayden just so I didn't have to go to Home Depot.
you go way out of the way, just almost up to like Canada, just to get your.
Yeah, I was doing all these house projects, and I'm like, I better get everything I need the first time I go because I am not standing around the building at Home
Yeah,
Depot again.
and that's exactly how I was too. It's just like if you need anything like that, you're like, get it all at once because I don't want to come
Yeah,
back.
I'm not coming back. Yeah, but
So obviously, fitness is a huge part of your life, and you and your wife's life, and nutrition. Well, do you guys have any outside hobbies that you enjoy besides food and fitness?
yeah. Well, we really love to use our fitness. Like it's not just, I don't know, something we, but so like anything where we're outside using our fitness is kind of what we love doing. So like backpacking or paddleboarding, we love paddleboarding, snowboarding, things like that. Anything where we get to get outside and kind of, yeah, use our fitness.
Yeah. Do you guys have you been teaching your kids? Are you gonna teach your kids how to ski or snowboard?
Oh, for sure. We will. Ashton's kind of, I don't know. She's very opinionated little girl. So it depends on the day if she was going to try something or not. So
I love that strong-willed woman.
she is a very strong-willed.
That's awesome. I know. I was like, we're starting to get snow. We're supposed to have a good ski season. Where do you guys
Yeah.
go to ski in the area?
Um, the last couple of years we've been going to Schweitzer. We don't get out as much as we used to. Just
Kids.
kids, babysitters. Yeah. So we usually pick one or two times in the year. And we're like, all right, we're going here. Where when we were growing up here, we went every week,
Right.
maybe multiple times a week. Yeah, season passes. Yeah, but
That have you? Do you guys do Lookout ever? Lookout Pass?
every once in a while, I used to do it more,
I
but
love Lookout.
we
Like
haven't
it's
done it in a while.
favorite local places, and it's a great place to teach kids at too.
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. So if you had a billboard in Coeur d'Alene and it could have anything on it, what would your billboard either have or say on it?
Well, I right now, if I don't know if you saw that story I posted, that the quote from Jocko Willink. Let me pull it up, real. So he says, the worst thing you can do is let something that's out of your control control you. And that's something that I've always kind of lived by or operated by, and just to keep stress out of your life is like, if you can't control something, don't let it like occupy space in your head. Just kind of
I needed that today. I needed that.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people do right now. That's why I put it on a billboard.
Yeah, that would be so no, like seriously, how
Mhm.
do we get you this billboard? Because I think we all need to remind that like there's so many things, especially right now, are out of our
Yeah.
control with the
Hmm.
elections, with COVID, with just, even the winter. Like this stuff is out of our control. Like let's
Hmm.
make the best of it.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. So what is something that you have failed at in your career or your life that you like learn the most about yourself?
Yep. So this is a question I thought about a lot, and it actually took me a while to try to figure out like what to answer this one. Failure is not something we'll say I've experienced a lot, because most of the time I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as like something that like got in the way, or got something that diverted my path.
Right.
And I usually don't give it much more thought. Like an example is like when I was younger, just coming out of high school, I wanted to be a PA, like a
Mhm.
physician's assistant. So I got into the medical field and started working on my like medical experience, and I was working on like prerequisites and things like that in college. And then they changed some requirements at the PA school I was like planning on attending, and so I just kind of changed my path. I never It's just things like that have happened over and over, where it's just like I just roll kind of with the punches, or whatever you would say. um and then it always turns out like pretty. I
No,
don't
I think that's perfect. Is that
know.
when something not even fail at or something redirects you, you're just like, all right, this isn't the
Yeah,
right path, or this is how we're gonna have to do it differently. I think a lot more people need to look at that than, oh, I failed this test, or I
yeah.
failed at this in life, or this
Mhm,
business opportunity didn't work out, or I started in business and it went under.
mhm.
Like, great, this isn't the right path, and we just
Yeah,
need to redirect it and go a different
yeah.
way.
You just adjust and you move forward, and you kind of just don't give it a lot of thought. You just learn from maybe things you did poorly, or things that you could change on your next, like where you're going next.
Right, exactly. So with
Hmm.
that, what is something maybe you wish you would have known before you started your career?
Um,
I mean, this could be with anything that you've done. I mean, is there something that like you're like, "Hey, I really wish I would have known this before I jumped in." I mean, now you figured it out, but something like a piece from someone would have been like, "Hey, just don't forget about this when you're doing this."
yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure like what things I wish I would have.
Maybe even how to deal with people or
Yeah, well, maybe that is one thing. Like, so when I first started RX Meals, and we would, you just don't take things personally that, I don't know, customers say, or
yeah,
people say about your business or your product or things like that. You just kind of have to, or even you in general, like
right.
just don't take things personally. Have kind of thick skin. So that was something that it didn't take me long to learn, but it was something that if I would have known beforehand, I would have been like, yeah, just if someone says something, just
It's fine. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fine. Yeah.
And I love that I mean, and you guys have done so much things for the community. I know I have gotten you connected with the police department before. And
Mhm,
you've done free meals during police week. You've
mhm.
been involved with tons of different community stuff. Is
Yeah.
that, I mean, is
A
that
lot
something,
of CrossFit stuff.
yeah, is that something
Also
that
a
you
lot of
guys like
things.
really want to like stay doing or something you're passionate about
Yeah.
doing?
That's time. I mean, if time allows, or if like the schedule works out, we love doing things for the community, and giving back to the community. It's like the RX Meals is not like a main source of like income for us, so we really like to put back into it like our time and our, say, like anything we can do to kind of help the community. We do give a lot of like free meals and gift cards to people say just had babies or just they're going through a hard time and things like that. We love doing that. We love just seeing people's reactions to that.
I love that, especially this time of year. That's a great thing to give to people and families, or maybe someone is struggling with their health and was like, "This is something
Yeah.
that can make me a better person if for my family or whoever is if I can get back on track with my nutrition." And I think that's the one thing I hear everybody. They're like, "Gosh, my nutrition would be so on point if I had like if they were a celebrity and I had a celebrity
I
cook."
know.
Like, you know what I mean? People are always like, "Oh,
That's
meal prep."
funny. That's like one of the, so when I was younger, that's something that I actually wanted to do. I really wanted to get into like being a live-in celebrity, like cook and trainer and
Yeah,
just like nutrition for it, just live with like a cool celebrity.
yeah.
Um, so that's funny you say that. So, and that's another how the RX meals came about is like that's something I wanted to do, but then this is something like practical application of that at my time in my life, with
Exactly.
kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're all going through, like we've talked about a couple times, this COVID. We're in the middle of some election craziness, and
Hmm.
it's starting to get to winter. So here in North Idaho, it's getting
Yeah.
cold.
It's
Um,
dark all the
it's
time.
getting dark at 4:30. This is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Um,
Hmm.
what is a piece of positive advice you could give to anyone listening? Kind of leave the listeners with something positive to go into their day during this really kind of tough time.
Um, I don't just don't let things eat you down. Take some vitamin D. Exercise. It's always gonna, even if you don't want to. It's dark. It's dark till like 8 o'clock in the morning. Just get up, do something. Um, yeah. Don't think about things that are out of your control.
That's perfect. I think that's the best advice we got today is just those things that you can't control. Just you got to let them go.
You gotta let them go.
Um,
Yeah.
so
You gotta think about like what can I control? Can I control my mood? Can I control my weight? Can I control my attitude? Yeah. So
I love that. All right. So if anyone's listening and wants to order meals or get in touch with you or figure out how to get involved, how do they do that?
so we can go, our website is always at getrxmeals.com, and you can order meals there or order subscription plans, which gives you a little bit of a discount. And then our Instagram is rx_meals. And then my Instagram is robin.hood_88. Yeah, you can always get a hold of us through any of those avenues. They all just go to the same place. They come to me. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving me some of your time, your day. Have a wonderful
mhm.
day and go support RX Meals.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Keeping Tabs. I'm Tabitha Crock, and every Monday I release a podcast about different community members here in North Idaho. And then we end the weeks on Fridays with a podcast about the things I'm passionate about: outdoors, adventures, sports, the van life, and even current events. So if you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, Spotify, or iTunes. Thank you again. Now go be kind and do something great.